Now let's start to talk about the sliders and how we can actually refine any mask that we draw inside of Photoshop with the Masks panel. I'm going to start from scratch and actually delete this mask. I'm going to create a brand new one. And I'm going to make my brush pretty large. So I'm going to just hit the right bracket and I'm going to paint away until I can see the layer underneath it. Once again, make sure you're on the mask by clicking on this thumbnail. So I'm going to paint away, and actually I'm going to paint with, I think, let's see, I'll choose black. So I'll hit D on my keyboard and hit X to bring black to the front. And I'm going to paint away at the edge of the character. And then we'll talk about how to refine this edge to get the look we're going for with the sliders. Okay, so here is the artwork, and I'll zoom in a little bit so we can focus on the edge. Now, whenever we have a mask, we can use our sliders to change how this mask works. So the first thing I'll talk about is the density. When I slide the density all the way back to 0, it gets rid of the effect of the mask. So I can interactively determine how much I want to see of that effect. So I can make some really nice edges this way, and I can see both. So if I go all the way, that's going to give me the full effect of this brush. So I'll put the density back down a little bit. Let's talk about feathering. Feathering will soften the edges, hence the word feather. So I can bring the feathering up and it will apply a blur to the edges. Now here's the fun part, the actual refinement of this mask. If I click Mask Edge, it opens the Refine Mask dialog box. So I have a lot of control. I can affect the radius of this mask. I can affect the contrast. And I can always look down here to get a little idea of what I'm doing. The cool thing about this tool is when you're brand new, all you have to do is keep your eye on the bottom to read the description. I can also smooth the edges of that mask. And I can apply my feathering here as well. And I can also expand and contract the edges or the border of that mask. Notice this, if I go all the way to the end, I'm bringing that border all the way in, and I can do the same thing in the opposite direction. I like these icons down here because they can change how you see your mask applied to your object or your artwork. So I can see the mask itself. I can see a quick mask mode, the regular version against white, and the mask itself. And you can really just use these to choose how you want to work with your mask. And this could all change depending on the artwork itself. So if the artwork is really dark like this, you might want to work with quick mask mode, or the dark mode, or even white. You'll probably change this mode based on, once again, the color of the pixels in your artwork. So that's an example of how you can refine the mask. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that now and show you one more cool thing. You can also invert your mask, and you can go to color range to choose colors in your image to base your mask on. So let's say I want to select just the yellow. I'll click in the yellow and I'll click OK, and I could apply my effects on that part of the mask. Notice in the mask area we see this yellow. It's hard to see, so let me go ahead and go to my panel options and blow this up quite a bit. Based on my color range, I only have that area in this mask to work on. So that is how you can use the Refine Edge tools to refine your masks.